Hello, 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 everyone. Good afternoon and happy New Year. Woohoo! You guys, thank you so much for joining me on this Sunday, January 8th, at 1 p.m. We are in the year of our Lord 2023. Can you imagine? All right, you guys. I am excited for Roll of the Die this year. Okay, I'm doing Roll of the Die a little bit differently. Well, kind of a lot differently because I want each of the participating demonstrators to have the opportunity to really showcase their creativity. And by that, what I mean is I don't want them to have to sometimes when we have 3 or 4 or more demonstrators, we have to really limit the time that each demonstrator has to showcase their project. So what I decided to do was this year was to change it to whereas we do it like a blog hop, okay? And what a blog hop is where everybody that's participating in the quote unquote hop, you prepare your project, you write about it, you do your video, whatever you choose to do, and everybody links to the other person's video, or in the other case, blog hop. That way, everybody has enough time or whatever sufficient time that they need in order to prepare their projects. So going forward, we're going to be doing YouTube hops as it pertains to Roll of the Die. Okay, so as usual, I'm going to go ahead and start with all of the administrative details. You guys, if you ever need to contact me, please reach out to me at my email. It's sweetsignatures@gmail.com. If you don't feel comfortable emailing me, but you still want to reach me, go ahead and leave a message in the comments. Reach out to me on my Facebook, reach out to me on Instagram, anywhere that you have my social media. Definitely reach out to me and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. All of those links to reach me are in the description box. Definitely take a look at that. When I'm going to demonstrate any of the projects today, if there's anything in that you see that you would love to purchase, I would love for you to purchase from me. Here is my online store information. It is www.sweetsignatures.stampinup.net. Also found in the description box. And if you shop with me and you spend $149 or less, please use the hostess code and be entered into the drawing at the end of the month to receive a giveaway. Okay, so that's it. Let me show you. I'm going to talk to you about a couple of other things. You guys, this Roll of the Die, let me get rid of this, move this out of the way. This Roll of the Die, it was a challenging, okay? And here's why it was challenging. If you've ever tried to do a clean and simple card with layering and embellishments, it's a matter of trying to figure out when to stop, okay? Because there's a fine line between going overboard and being simple, okay? So the elements that we had to prepare for our cards today, we had to use the in colors, the Stampin' Up! In colors. We had to use, we had to incorporate some embellishments. We had to do layering. We had to do a clean and simple card. And we also had to do, the theme was friendship, okay? So if you are not familiar, let me tell you what the in colors are for the current period that we're in, which is the 2022 to 2024. Those in colors are, hey Kathy, how are you? Thanks for popping in. Those colors are Parakeet Party, Sweet Sorbet, Tahitian Tide, and Orchid Oasis and Starry Sky. Those are the 2022 to 2024 in colors. We also have the 2020 to 2023, in colors. I think that's right. Okay, and those are Pale Papaya, Polished Pink, Fresh Freesia, soft succulent, and evening evergreen. So those are the in colors that we have to play with in this challenge. So here's my sample. I created this sample as my simple card, okay? It did not use, I used some of the in colors, but I didn't use all of them. So this was my sample. We're gonna step this up a little bit, and I am going to work with new products as well as the actual in colors, but this was the sample that I worked from. What are you gonna need to create this project? You are going to need pretty much some basic white cardstock. And let me grab my pieces for it. Let me grab my parts and pieces. We're going to need some basic white cardstock, basic white thick for your card base. And this is going to be 8.5 by 11, scored at 4 1/4. I'm sorry, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You're also going to need a piece of basic white. I also use thick for this one. This is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. And then you're going to need another piece of basic white. This is 2 3/4 by 4 3/4 inches. And then you're going to need a piece of scrap. And for scrap, I'm using the in color Starry Sky. And this is going to be for our sentiments, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. You can put everything else out of the way. Well, let me tell you the stamp set that we're going to use. I am using from the new January through April mini catalog. This is part of the Regency Park collection. And this is the Sentimental Park bundle. There's another Stampin' Die bundle that is a part of this Sweet collection, but we're going to go ahead and use this one, primarily because we have Dear Friend and all of these other sentiments that we can use. So I'm going to use that, okay? This bundle, these are the coordinating dies, lovely label dies that coordinate with this. And I shared it with you in another video, and I will link that video in the comments up above. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our stamping. Now, this is where the first layer of two-step stamp or layering is going to come in. This stamp set is a two-step stamp. So this is our first iteration of layering, okay? So the colors I'm going to use for my layering, I'm going to actually use Tahitian Tide and Starry Sky for my two-step stamping, or my first layering element. All right, so let's go ahead and grab. So when you're in two-step stamping, I don't know if you can see the difference in the camera. There is one of the stamps is more of an outline shape, and then the other one is where you fill in all of the details. Typically, the outline is done in the lighter shade, and then your detailed is done in the darker shade because it outlines it. Now, one of the things you can do, I'm using two different colors, but if you don't have two different colors, you can really use one. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You can use one color, but if you stamp off, right? Oops. Yeah. If you stamp off, this will be lighter, right? And so when you go in with the detailed, if you stamp this at full strength, you will be able to see, pardon my head if it gets in the frame, you will be able to see the details even though it's the same color stamp, okay? But for today, oh, I like that. I might keep that and cut that out. For today, I'm going to use two different colors. I'm going to use Tahitian Tide and Starry Sky, both of my in color components, okay? And because I'm doing that, I don't really need to make sure that I don't need to. Okay, and then we're gonna go in with, and what I love about photopolymer stamps, you guys, is with photopolymer stamp sets, you can actually, well, that it wasn't supposed to happen, right? So with photopolymer, you can actually see through them to make sure that you're lining them up correctly, whereas it's a little bit more challenging with cling mount. You can still do it, but it's just a little bit more challenging. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Then I'm just going to change this around, and then I'm going to line it up as best I can. And there we go. Okay, so we have our floral element. And now I'm going to go in with the leaves. And for my leaves, I'm using Parakeet Party, which is another in color. And I'm also going to use Pear Pizzazz. Parakeet Party is my lightest shade, so I'm going to go in with that as full strength. Right here. Right here. And right here. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with Pear Pizzazz. Is everybody having a good Sunday morning or afternoon? It's afternoon now. And then all I'm going to do is line this up as best as I can to get my detailed. There we go. Get my details. And get my details. There we go. Our image panel is pretty much done, you guys. So we can go ahead and we can put these guys away. I'm trying so hard to make sure, like, my New Year's resolution for 2023 is trying to make sure that I put things away so that by the time I'm done with creating a card with you on video, I don't have 2 inches of working space, because that's typically what I'm working with. Okay, so let's finish creating this card, right? And so really what we're going to end up doing, and because it's simple, I'm not going to do a lot of embossing. I'm not going to do a lot of blending or anything like that. This card is pretty much going to be very simple and self-explanatory, and anybody can create it, recreate it. Okay, so let's add a little bit of adhesive. And we all know that I love liquid glue. I'm going to go ahead and apply some liquid glue if it'll run. It's not running. I threw out a whole bottle of Tombow. I don't know why it exploded. I just knew it exploded. So I pretty much threw out an entire bottle of Tombow. All right, so I'm going to leave maybe about 1/8 of an inch border on the sides, and then maybe about 1/4 inch border. I'm thinking white. I think I'll go with white, just stick with white. So my thought was, I shouldn't have put that on there yet. Oh, I could still do it. Here we go. That's exactly what I'm doing. All right, so here we go. I'm going to stamp the word, the U, if I can find it here. Now, I consider embossing, heat embossing, an embellishment. So I am going to heat em, well, maybe not, because I've already put it on there. So forget that. I'm not going to put that. I'm not going to heat emboss because I've already added it to the card, and I don't want it to with the heat, to loosen the adhesive that's on it. So I'm not going to heat emboss, but normally I would heat emboss my sentiment. Let's make sure this will stamp crisp for me. Okay. Yep. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp right here, and I'm going to put U right in the center. I need my eyes. Hold on. Right there. Okay. That's done. And then I'm going to grab the dear friend and amazing. Dear friend. And you are amazing right here. And I'm going to heat emboss both of these, you guys. Check this out, right? Let's take this off for now. Put that here. Do dear friend. Make sure that's all straight as Caron can get, because, you know, I don't do anything straight. Okay. And then I'm going to grab the Versamark ink. Oh, where's my little my tool? Pardon my dogs in the background, you guys. And I'm gonna use the Versamark, and I'm gonna stamp dear friend. Okay. Perfect. I'm gonna take this off. Then I'm gonna add you are amazing. All right. So perfect. Let's cover this up. Somebody just walked across my my front lawn. And of course, you know, that gets my kids all excited. They get totally excited when anybody walks anywhere in their vicinity. Not sure what I did with my other spoon, but I have another spoon that I use, and I bought specifically for this, for embossing. Okay. Now just get some. You guys, if you have extra paint brushes, if you have makeup brushes, please don't think you have to get rid of them. Use them in your crafting. Oops, I just made a mess right there. Perfect. Use them in crafting. This is an old paint brush. I have been known to use a makeup brush. Okay, so that's all done. Let me put this away. These little containers, you guys, by the way, I got from the Dollar Tree. They are absolutely perfect for holding your embossing powders. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. And then we're going to do a little bit of surgery on these sentiments right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to trim this off. And because I have the word you here, I'm actually going to trim it off of the you are amazing here, because I already have the word you, right? Then I'm going to do a lot of trimming. You okay, babes? Sorry, that's my little pumpkin out there. Doing what they do to protect their mama. That's what they do. All righty. And then what we're going to do with this guy, check this out, right? I'm going to fussy cut around the sentiment. Pretty rough. What do you guys think of this card so far? Guys, while I'm fussy cutting, let me take a minute to remind you that we have our second quarterly bingo event is getting ready to start. It'll be held on January 28th. It's a Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. For the registration fee for the bingo, we'll make 2 make and takes. So I will send you all of the products or all of the cut pieces. I can't send you stamped products, of course, that's against Stampin' Up! Policy, but I will send you all of the parts and pieces that you need to join me on that date and time to create the make and take cards. And I have decided, I think I've said, I put it somewhere, I'm not sure. I wanted to work, I think it was with the Regency Park Suite. I think that's what it was. I will let you know definitely. I will have to put that out. You can register up until the start time. Of course, I can't guarantee, matter of fact, I won't guarantee that you'll receive the kits. I will mail them out regardless of when you register. You'll just receive them after. And it will include your bingo card, your make and takes, a thank you gift for joining or for signing up and reserving your spot. And of course, you get your gift when you join the video. All right, so almost done with the fussy cutting here. I have to slow down a little bit because when I'm talking and fussy cutting, that's typically a problem. Ha ha ha. And then just as an FYI, if you are a Paper Pumpkin and you're not registered for Paper Pumpkin subscription for this January's box ends on January 10th. So if you are thinking about getting the what is it? Keys to my heart Paper Pumpkin kit. You have a couple more days, actually 2 more days within which to subscribe to the box and get your kit. If you are a subscriber and for whatever reason you choose that you don't want to get this month's subscription, you can go ahead, don't forget, you can go right in and go ahead and tell it to skip the month if that's what you'd like to do. Oops. Almost done with fussy cutting, you guys. This is the longest part here because our card is just about done. Thanks, Kat. I missed you today. Yeah. So joining me on the hop today, you guys, we have Miss Michelle Hollings, and the link to her YouTube is listed in the description box as well. And then we also have Miss Karen Finley, who's also joining us in the hop today. So you'll get to be able to see what those guys are creating with today's elements. So I'm trying to figure now, do I put the deer here? Dear friend, you are amazing. So that's how I'm going to do with that. I need to bring out my little vacuum cleaner thingy here, because let me tell you, I got me some embossing powder everywhere. I'm just adding some liquid adhesive to my sentiment, like so. I think I'm just going to place him up here somewhere. All right, I think that's even. And then I'm going to put a piece of dimensional on this guy. And I tend to use, like I said, I purchase a lot of the foam adhesive sheet, and I love to cut and trim it to fit exactly what it is that I'm using, what I need it for. So we got that. So we did a little embellishment. Our embellishment was our little bit of heat embossing that we did there. Right, now I'm going to add this right here. Right, and then there are some coordinating gems that go along with these sweet, and they're called the adhesive backed milky dots. I'm going to go ahead, before I do that, and add my card to the card base. And I'm going to use, I'm going to go grab that, grab another sheet of foam adhesive dots. Oops. I'm having a fit over here. Things are being knocked down everywhere. And when I cut the adhesive sheet, I don't do any measuring. I kind of eyeball it. I just cut things. Oh, that was dumb. I made a little bit of a boo-boo there. All right. I did. I made a little bit of a boo-boo. I was looking at my image panel when I trimmed, and I'm like, I didn't need that big, but it wasn't for the image panel. Of course, Michelle, heat embossing. All right, so there we go. And so let's just put this guy on top of the card base. And then we'll add the last element for the challenge, which is embellishments. Okay, And to finish out the suite, I'm gonna go add some milky adhesive backed milky dots, which is coordinating adhesive or coordinating gem with the Regency Park suite. They are absolutely gorgeous, you guys. Look at them. Kind of like a gray, kind of like a little pinky. This blue. I'm going to use the blue because that'll coordinate with my cardstock, or yeah, the sentiment layer that I just did. I think I'm out of the little putty stuff. Okay, we'll have to make this work. Okay. I always try to do one large, one medium. Well, there's no medium. They're all kind of large. So I'm going to do one large and two smalls. And there you have it. Here is the card we created. So let me just reiterate. So as far as the element challenges were concerned, I believe this looks clean and simple to me. Hey, Cheryl, how are you? Then we have the in colors. For in colors, I use Tahitian Tide and Starry Sky, both in the ink as well as the cardstock. I also used the Parakeet Party. So that's my in colors. Sentiment was Dear Friend. Clean and Simple, my embellishment, and I layered my stamping, and I layered my card. So with that being said, and I know everybody's always waiting anxiously, let's roll the die and see what we have for next month. You guys enjoying roll of the die? I love it. I think it challenges me. I can't speak for any of my, thank you, Michelle. I can't speak for any of my other participants, but I love the die. And leave your comments for me. I would really like to know what you think about the blog hop medium versus us all getting together to do it. I like the blog hop because all right, so neutrals is the first. Birthday. Ooh, has to be some kind of a texture. Oh, we got to do paper piecing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, so the elements for next month are neutrals, birthday, textures, paper piecing, and it has to be a slim line card. Oh my goodness. I've got to go make sure I take a picture of this so that I don't forget what they are. But I'm curious to see what all of my other participants will come up with in creating with these elements. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining me today for an episode or for another episode of Roll of the Die. And here are the two cards that we created today. So I know, right? It'll definitely be a challenge to get it done. But hey, we are very creative women or stampers because we have men. There are men stampers as well, male stampers. So it's not just women. So definitely take a look, pull out your stamp sets, and try these challenges with us so we can see what you are creating as well. On that note, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, like and share my videos so that other people can see and enjoy the fun as well. And on that note, you guys, thank you, Godspeed, and have a great day.